Hello, Gemini. So we're going to see kind of what's going on with your general energies currently. Take what works. What doesn't work just doesn't work. But let's see what the cards have to say for you. Okay, guys, so I wanted more clarification. Sorry about the dog. I wanted more clarification as to what's going on with this, but let's see where this goes. So, regarding, this is what the basis of this situation is. This is what this situation is to you. So you have the Hermit, you have the Sun, you have the Four of Cups, and then I tried to clarify it further, and we got the Ace of Wands. So I really feel like you might have been in some kind of solitary mode. You might have been doing some kind of self-reflection, working on yourself to a certain degree. And for whatever reason, I think you kind of, something came to light or something happened where you had a little bit of a, I don't want to say a confidence boost, but something maybe was revealed to you. This could even be your own inner knowing, or you deciding to do something for yourself or change something about yourself, or just change the way you're doing something. Because I feel like you had this sun moment, this like vitality, this kind of like, I can do this. Because I think with the Four of Cups, you've been feeling a little bit like everything's always the same. You know, the Four of Cups is a card about getting like opportunities, but not really being happy about them. It's about being a little bit bored. Sometimes these opportunities could be good, but sometimes these opportunities are the same damn things that you've been getting that have been not good. You know, that's how it always comes with me sometimes. But sometimes it does always say, look at it again, because sometimes the opportunity, I give it a second look, and I'm like, oh, you know, okay, that wasn't that bad. It wasn't the same old BS that I've been getting sent all this time. But I think you guys have been in this like real self-reflection mode, and something happened where you're kind of having like, you might have been feeling like everything is always the same, or you might have had this like kind of spark or this idea or decision to try something different. Because I think the Sun means that you're kind of in a little bit more of a positive mindset right now. I think you're deciding to maybe get out of a funk. Like if you were in a funk, I think you're kind of getting out of the funk. And with the Ace of Wands, it's like you're taking new action for that. So this is regarding this situation. So let's see. So now I think your energies, your current energies right now are the Queen of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords reversed. Now, I love this because the Eight of Swords reversed is about kind of releasing yourself from beliefs or self-limiting situations. But the swords are all about your mind. So I think you're almost like freeing yourself. I think if some of you didn't have confidence or something in something, you're kind of like just letting that go. You're letting maybe some fears go of the final outcome. And you're kind of, with this Queen of Pentacles energy, she is very practical. She's very, like, she's able to take a situation and figure out the best way to resolve the situation or the problem. But she does things in a very simplistic way, in a very like matter of fact kind of way. So I think you might be kind of just figuring out certain details, or you might be in this energy of like, whatever you're doing, whatever you're kind of moving towards, I think you might just be doing it, okay, like one step at a time. Like you don't have to have it all figured out right this second. And I think sometimes that's the most important attitude to have, because when you're coming from this like hermit mode and, you know, this Four of Cups mode, and then you have this kind of like spark of vitality or inspiration or wanting to do something different, it might feel overwhelming a little bit. And I think this is just saying that like one step at a time. You don't have to have it all figured out, because I feel like you're almost like liberating yourself at the moment, where you're seeing opportunities and possibilities that you may not have seen before. And I think that's exciting. So you're like in this super positive mode right now. But, okay, what's coming in for you? You have the Two of Swords, and then you have the King of Pentacles reversed. Now, the Two of Swords represents kind of like indecisions. It could be that you might be feeling there's two different ways that you want to do something, or you're in a situation where you're not really sure what you should do, you know? But the King of Pentacles in reverse, I kind of feel like these indecisions are because you're not really being as structured or as diligent as you could be for this situation. I feel like, because in upright, he has his shit together. I'm not saying you don't have your crap together, guys. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that I wonder if you kind of got out of this funk, or you really kind of did some soul searching and are kind of excited and feeling liberated about taking the next steps of whatever this represents for you. But, you know, like anything, sometimes you just don't know what to do next. You know, you don't know where's the next step? What is the next step? So I think what's coming in for you might be a little bit of figuring out exactly the next steps. But I think what this is saying is that you need to watch that you're not, I don't want to say being lazy. I don't want to say don't be lazy about these decisions. You know, there probably could be something you could look into, but that's kind of that energy. It could be like the King of Pentacles in reverse. He could be a little lazy. He could kind of be a little like, okay, I'll figure it out tomorrow kind of energy, especially with the Two of Swords. So you might be kind of in that, but sometimes I feel like the Two of Swords, it could be also, it's a stuck energy, but sometimes you kind of have to, it forces you almost to brainstorm, but your challenge regarding the situation, you have the Moon reverse and you have Temperance. Now, this is very interesting because I wonder, for some of you, because you also have the Sun over here, I wonder if something else is coming to light. I wonder if there's some type of, like with whatever this decision you need to make, I wonder if you get a little bit of clarity on it, and that may be a challenge for good or bad. Sometimes it could be good clarity, but that means that you have to put in more work, or you have to do more things, or you have more responsibilities or something. So that could be for good or bad for whatever that is. But Temperance, your challenge is also to balance things out, because for some of you, I feel like whatever this is, you're going to have to figure out the details, So I think the challenge is to kind of like look at the situation and all the things that you're finding out, and somehow balance all of that within your life or whatever you're doing. Because I do feel like some of you, this is kind of, I don't want to say work related, but it could be something to do with some type of, I don't want to say non-emotional aspects of your life, but more of like kind of like a financial or practical or hobby or something where, educational or something along that lines is what I'm getting. And for some of you, you guys might have been stuck and decided that you want to change careers or something, or you want to try this new hobby or whatever this is. And you're kind of like, I'm going to do it. And you kind of get the muster up the courage to do it. And then, you feel liberated, you're kind of getting along. And then you might hit a little obstacle where like, okay, I don't know what to do next type of thing. So you'll figure it out. But now what's recommended for you regarding this situation, you have Death reverse and the Moon reverse, which is very interesting. So I would say with these two, what's recommended, I kind of almost like feel that these two is like a little bit of like moderation, because in the upright, Death is about transitioning and, moving from one phase to another. It's about leaving something behind and kind of going on to something different. But in the reverse, being recommended, it might be saying that you might not be able to just fully transition out right this second. So do it slowly, maybe go a little slower, especially because the Moon reverse is recommended and you have the Moon reverse here. So I think you might be gaining some clarity on something. And I think whatever you're gaining, I think it's going to be challenging for you, but I think it's also liberating, if that makes sense. Because I think whatever clarity you're getting, because with the Moon reverse here with your challenge and with Temperance as your challenge, I think you're going to have to like merge multiple things together or blend things or balance things. And then Death in the reverse, to me, in a weird way, you'd be like stuck in the in-between a little bit. You're not really just going right through Death's door or whatever. So I think this is almost saying that it's recommended that you still kind of balance certain things and just kind of do with the knowledge that you're finding. I'm just thinking, guys. Sorry, I had a thought, and then it fluttered out of my brain. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I think you just need to kind of somehow, almost like, don't worry about having to transition to the next phase so quickly, because I think you need to take a look at whatever, like the whatever's kind of coming more to light. There might be more information coming in the near future as well, and that might be important as well to kind of navigate the situation. So for some of you, I'm really feeling like you might be in between careers. You're thinking about branching out to something different. So that is very exciting. But, there's always like that middle ground, because this is a lot of like that kind of like middle ground energy here. But let's see what else we get for you guys. Okay, first up we have number 57. We have Squirrel Spirit, believe in yourself. And I really think that you guys, I think you have a moment where you came out of this like dark night of the soul, this soul searching. And I think that you need to continue to believe in yourself, because I wonder if some of you with this energy that may be coming in for you, I don't want to say you might be losing steam a little bit, but you might be like, oh, can I really do this? So... And your challenge could be to release that fears as well, So, because I definitely think whatever this is, it's something that you're going to find really, really fulfilling. But I don't think it's necessarily like easy. Nothing is ever easy, but you need to believe in yourself. Now we have Citrine, bring in the light. And I just feel like you are getting some type of clarity, because you have the sun here. You have the moon in reverse, which is kind of like about clarity. And you also have another moon in the reverse, which is like clarity. So I think you're kind of bringing in some light, even if it's like shedding light on why are you feeling anxious or what's going on with the situation. Certain things might have been overlooked, and now you're kind of seeing them for what they are. And then we have addiction and heartbroken. So addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. And heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. And you know what? I kind of feel like some of that is really going with what was happening over here as far as like the basis of this reading. Because I feel like with the Hermit, a lot of times we go into Hermit mode after a situation, like we were heartbroken or whatever, and we just kind of go into like an isolation mode. And sometimes during that time, you kind of have to really reflect, it forces you to kind of think about things, But I do think you're kind of coming out of that now, which is really exciting. But you need to watch that you're not going to slip back into that pattern. So it could have just been something that you're feeling like what's coming in for you might be feeling like a creative block, or you might be feeling like, might be slipping back into the like, oh, I don't think I can do this type of attitude or whatever. But I think you just need to kind of acknowledge that maybe some of that is from some past hurt or some past pain, and maybe remind yourself why you kind of were getting out of this funk to begin with. Now we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And I really kind of feel like this could be about a person, but I kind of feel like whatever situation this is to you, I kind of feel like as you do it, as you kind of, I don't say play in the energy, but as you kind of soak yourself, marinate yourself in the situation, I wonder if you're really going to wind up enjoying it, because I think it had enough to kind of spark you out of this whatever funk. I think it kind of give you this vitality, this enthusiasm, kind of spark you out of that. So I definitely think whatever this is, because even with the Eight of Swords is about like kind of liberating yourself over here. So I think this is very liberating to you in a certain way. And I just think you just need to kind of continue on with it, with whatever this is for you. Okay, so we have grounding, root chakra. Sink your roots deep, connect them to the heart of the earth. And I think that's wonderful. And I think that's just saying that whatever the situation is, I don't feel like you have like your roots super deep into it, but I think this is saying kind of keep going. Solar plexus chakra, abundance. The world is abundant when you choose to see it that way. And that is a beautiful attitude to have, the attitude of gratitude. You have reflection. Friendships in your life may come to an end. Others could bloom and become stronger. And I really wonder for some of you if that's what this, what was going on over here with this heartbreak and addiction or this, codependent stuff. If with this hermit energy here, you went into kind of some reflection mode, So, and unfortunately with that sometimes, and I wonder if some of you, something with that, because some of you, it could be a friendship too, and you could just be now working on yourself. But I wonder if now more might be coming to light that could potentially upset you. But I think it's like you might be transitioning from one thing to another, but I think you need to remind yourself why you're transitioning forward, and not slip back. Inspire. There is fire inside you burning brighter than the sun. And I think that's what kind of happened over here. I think you were inspired, especially with the Ace of Wands, to do whatever this is to pursue it. Now, full moon, protect your energy and hold your stars close. And I think this is definitely going with this grounding energy, So some of you just definitely might need to kind of do some kind of grounding, or just, if you're getting upset again or kind of getting in this funk again, just try to, take a minute and try to remind yourself, like, what kind of got you out of that funk to begin with, Okay, chakras, loaded and ready. Zen as duck. Okay, so that's just remember you're zen as duck. Next, we have some people feel the rain, others just get wet. And I think this is saying, like, rain's on everybody, But I guess it's kind of what you make of that situation. If you're going to just get drenched, or if you're going to be like, oh, it rained today. Oh, the rain, So, because I definitely think, I don't know. I just think you're going to get some kind of clarity. I think something else might be coming to light. And I think with that information, you're going to be able to kind of see this situation a little bit further as far as like maybe taking certain actions to it. But I definitely feel like you're kind of like starting to move forward with something. But I think you're really working on yourself too. I think this is a lot of like I don't want to say self-discovery, but I think through this process, you're having this like kind of, not even self-awakening. That's not what it is. I just think you're transforming a little bit. This has been like almost like a transformative situation for you. Now, let's see what Bob Ross has to say. Just go out and talk to a tree. Make friends with it. And I wonder if some of you, if this was like a friend group or something, or a friend that kind of, or, you were heartbroken about whatever situation, maybe do something silly, or go find something else. I think this is saying that, like, let's say if you did lose somebody in your life, if it was a breakup or, something just didn't work out, however it may be, that you're not alone. You're going to find other people, or there's other situation, even if it's you want to switch careers or something. This is just saying, don't be afraid to be silly as well, or don't be afraid to be like ridiculous. Like, you might be having a fear that's almost stopping you here from trying something, but if you're going to go talk to a tree and make friends with it, like, you're fearless at that point, because if you don't care what the neighbors are thinking or anybody else, you could do anything. So I think this is actually extremely powerful right here. This message will change your life, because if you could do this, anything else you're going to try, it doesn't even matter, because you're not going to look ridiculous because you don't care. So this is great right here. I really like this energy here. This is good. Bob Ross knew what he was talking about. Now for your affirmation card, we have today I am focused. Today I will be productive and feel good about doing the hard work that I need to do. And this is extremely useful. And I think that's what you might need kind of coming in if you kind of start getting stuck in a little, like, I'm not saying lazy, but a little like not sure what to do. You just need to stay focused. Stay focused on what got you out of that funk and the work you've been doing. as things kind of come in for you. Now we have for your stress relief and self-care. I can't speak tonight. For your stress relief and self-care card, we have remove the rush. Objective. You'll get there as soon as you can. Ever been frustrated and overwhelmed by waiting in line or getting caught in traffic? There isn't much we can do in the situations, and it can be a relief to remove the pressure we put on ourselves. Remind yourself that you'll get to where you need to as soon as you can, and practice calming yourself down with some deep breaths. Now, it's funny because this is almost like being stuck and just being calm in the stuck. And I feel like with the death being recommended for you in reverse, it's like you're kind of stuck, and just be okay with that type of thing, because that's recommended. So, and because you have the 2 of cards here with like kind of being stuck as well, there might be more to the situation that needs to kind of come to light. And I think it is coming to the light, but because the moon is here twice in challenge and recommend, I think it's coming to light in pieces. So I think this is saying maybe stay stuck a little bit, just wait it out, see what else is going to be revealed, because you're going to see things a little bit clearer. That's what I'm getting with that. Now, let's see what your spirit of the dish that shall be with you during this situation. You have the spirit of the mess, which is the cold mess, actually, because it's like the little ice pop. Okay, for the dinner and a movie that's recommended for you during this time, you have Chinese food and horror movies. For the energies you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have Taurus. Now, Taurus to me, I don't want to say it's like a slow moving energy, the way like I at least interpret it, the way I see it, but they're very stable. Like I see it as like a energy for the long haul. It's not kind of afraid to kind of move slowly. So I feel like with this, you have to maybe stay committed or dedicated to something, and it may move a little bit slower, but it's something that is going to be very beneficial for the long time or long haul to come. And then you have Cancer here, which is all about like your emotions and habits and everything. So I think you might have to really be aware of some of your emotions regarding this, and maybe kind of do a little bit more work on that in that area. Or if you're feeling like one minute you're like super happy, next minute like it's the end of the world, you might have to be able to catch yourself and almost balance that out, because I think things are kind of coming to light, but they're not as coming to light as quickly or as clearly as you probably would want them to with whatever this is for you. And I think you're going to be having a little bit of this stuck feeling, but I think within that, you almost can like make of that situation either the best you can make of it or the worst you can make of it. So it's almost like you have the power to kind of do that. Now, we have here the North Node, which represents destiny, and then we have here Neptune, which is about vision, creativity, and illusions. So I would say that just remind yourself what you're kind of your vision of this, or what you really want, your dreams and everything, but be aware if you're kind of lying to yourself. I don't mean lying to yourself, but any kind of illusions, especially because the moon's here twice, even in reverse. Like there might be things that, not quite clear yet. I think it's coming clearer, but it's not as clear quite yet. So you want to be aware of that. You have the 10th house here, which represents social status, career, and aspirations. And you have the 11th house here, which is all about originality, humanitarianism, connections, and creative ideas. You have number 1, so that means it's an odd number, so the special guest that'll be answering your tonight Geminis will be the Magic 8 Ball. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. So we have K, F, T, C, G, V, N, T, W, 6581. Oh, and this like popped out. Oh, and this is like the flower, but it's like a pretty flower. I think a lot of times these plants, at least this specific flower in my mind, I think it puts a lot of energy into something, and I think sometimes you don't see everything. You don't see all the work it has to put in to get this flower, at least in my mind. This is how this flower works. So I wonder if some of you kind of like are putting energy, or you're realizing you're going to need to put a lot of energy into something to get something to bloom or transform in a way. And I wonder, sometimes to me, in my flower here, this flower, it goes through a phase where it looks a little bit funny. It looks like nothing's really happening. But then eventually it kind of does its thing because it's putting all that work into it and it blooms. So I wonder, I really feel like you might be in this phase where you don't see the bloom quite yet. And you might not know when the bloom's coming, but I think the bloom is coming. And I think whatever this is going to bloom very nicely for you. You just need to have the patience. I feel that with that. And you have love. Oh, and I feel like you got to love yourself, you know, and maybe this situation requires some kind of love. This could be about love too, but I think you got to love yourself because I feel like whatever happened here, all this like self-care and kind of self-work, I think you just got to remind yourself that, you know, things are not perfect all the time and you still got to love yourself. Okay, guys, now it's time. Here we go. Think of those questions. Oh, mystical, magical 8-ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Gemini's question? It says, concentrate and ask again. Okay, guys, we got to stay focused here. This is serious stuff here. Okay, all that energy. Come on, give me the energy. Focus, 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 focus. Here we go. Oh, mystical, magical 8-ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the universe. What is the answer to Gemini's question? It says, you may rely on it. There you guys go. The 8-ball has spoken. I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.